Hey dudes, I'm Paolo Chikiamco.
And I'm Jemuel Bernaldez.
And what are you saying?
Please check out FlipGeeks
Yes.
at flipgeeks.com and also to check out salimbal.com for this stuff.
Salimbalcomics.com.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Jemuel Bernaldez. I'm a comic artist slash illustrator with the group Studio Salimbal.
Paolo Chikiamco, writer, editor, lawyer, all around great person.
Wrestling.
Massive heading, wrestling aficionado.
So your comics is called Sparrows.
We have different comics altogether. The studio likes having a project for each of the members. So the project Gem and I are a part of is called Bravos. That's our superhero line, where we have we imagine a world where only Filipinos have superpowers. So just like other superhero lines, we have different creative teams focusing on different parts of the world, exploring different parts of it, sort of like what we did for Mid-Space, but for the superhero genre. I also write a few of the other projects for the studio. I write Sparrow's Roar, which I do with Gina Rose Chua. That's our low magic medieval fantasy story. It's basically Game of Thrones, but where the people who die are cuter than what you see on TV.
Women in armor.
Yes, ladies in armor is how Christina, because that's what she wants to draw. So I just wrote a story that would give her the excuse to draw what she wants to draw, which is usually how it works out the best when you're collaborating with someone. I work on the Muros comics with Board Sinapan, the National Book Award winner Board Sinapan. That's basically our alternative history, urban fantasy, noir story set in a Manila that had been closed off from the rest of the world since World War II, and which only now has begun to open and allow people from the outside world to come in. So we have a society where you're seeing science, modern technology mixed with magic and monsters, and that's what makes it an interesting setting for a detective type story. What else do we still have we're still working on mid-space stuff, but don't ask us when the next volume is coming out. It's something, it's happening somewhere, but when your artists are so good that they get super famous and super busy, it's harder to juggle.
I'm still here.
Yeah. You're about to become super famous.
Well,
but I can't tell you because then you
So you have different lines for different genres of comic books, right?
Yeah. We like basically we try to make it so that we have lines so that we can sort of rotate. So if someone's busy, someone else can do something in that line to sort of keep it alive. Because that's one of the things we want to, we try to do is to not make certain properties lie fallow for too long, because then it doesn't have as much of a chance to gain a fan base or to gain critical mass if people are waiting for like 2 years between like 30-page stories. So we try to address that by having multiple teams, the possibility of multiple teams working in a particular universe. But while the lines are group efforts, we also try to make sure that everyone has their own passion project. Because as Mid-Space has shown us, it's hard to really make living out of an anthology where you cut every profit like 8 ways. So everybody usually has their own personal project that they're usually either working on alone or together with an artist or a writer. So Muros, Sparrow's Roar, those are some of those projects that are sort of very creator specific.
So also Bravos.
Right, no, but that's a line.
Oh, okay.
So what are your new releases for this comic? Do you have any debuts for this?
Yeah, the second issue of Sparrow's Roar is out. The second issue of Muros is out. We have Sparrows over here. So those they took longer than we thought they would, but they're out. So better late than never.
So do you have any future plans for a new line, or you just plan to
We're
extend?
still working on Bravos is the next major thing we're going to try to push. We're working with John Amor in Davao for Bravo's Davao, obviously. We're also working on sort of exploring other mediums for the lights. Like for Bravos, we're working on working with prose authors for sort of like illustrated stories that take place in the universe to sort of help fill in the gaps, because it's a very broad setting, but we also want to have perspectives outside of like the people who are more easily reached, like in Manila, especially for something like Bravos, which the focus is really on how the Philippines is different. So that's one of the reasons why our initial comics are really geographically situated in Manila, Cebu, and Davao. So we want working with different mediums like prose allows us to reach out to different creative people who otherwise would not be able to. I mean, they might not be interested in comics, or they might not know how to do comics, but they can give a story that would allow them to express a perspective that is uniquely their own, and hopefully somewhere outside of the East.
So do you have any challenges like working with people from outside the metro?
It's horrible.
Yeah.
With the sexual tension.
Just every day I'm just sweating. It's like freezing inside. But yeah, anyway, in terms of difficulty in working, time, especially for someone like me who has a day job.
So like everyone who has a day job, like even those of us who are doing freelance work, that's still the day job. It's still your primary focus is on working, doing jobs that bring in money as opposed to jobs that you would necessarily own.
Yeah.
So that's the main problem, finding the right and the more you do your stuff, let's say like after Midspace, a lot of the artists who were involved, they got super famous and super busy, and so I mean which is great, which is something we want, but it also makes it harder to then focus on continuing your passion or project that doesn't pay as much when you're getting offers to do higher paying work that is something you don't want. So stop stealing my artists.
Plus, in this Comic Con, how is it so far?
Well,
Today.
I could say it has been growing. The first time I went in Comic Con here, especially in the Philippines, because I grew up in Saudi, and the first Comic Con that I attended was from UP, and when it was still in UP, and I was surprised, there is actually a community here that loves to make comics. And then every year, every time I step into this place, I see more great artists, and some that I would love to admit that they are better than me. And besides great artists, like great writers.
And none of them are better than me.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, enough. Every day, more young people. See, I sound like an old guy. More young people have been doing comics, more frequently than I used to imagine. So I think it's the industry is starting to really grow, especially now that we have other publishers going into it, like Anino. Besides Anino.
Anino is great, Black Ink.
Yeah, Black Ink.